Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Gabriel Knight 3, Blood of the Sacred, Blood of the Damned, Blind. Some time has passed,
Looks like those front rooms have balconies.
and I've been transported back to the hotel, by which I assume I have something to accomplish here, so I will try talking with Mosley and the other people around.
I just want you to know, you're doing a great job.
Okay, he has nothing new to say. Anything happening in the cafeteria?
I've been waiting to get you alone, Maddie. I don't like to brag in front of the others, but I think you're going to be surprised at how this tour turns out. Might bring some fame your way. Help you out.
Are you implying, Monsieur Wilkes, that you intend to find the treasure this trip?
That's right.
You will have my full attention when you do.
You don't believe me? I got this theory, see?
Monsieur Wilkes, everyone has a theory.
Yeah, but they ain't got what I got. You can write that up and take it to the bank.
Really? And what do you have that is so unusual?
Why don't you come by my room tonight and find out? I got this big piece of equipment, see?
Oh, je comprends. However big your equipment, monsieur, I've no doubt seen something very much like it before. Besides, I probably have other plans.
Oh, baby, watching Madeline eat has its moments, but I probably have better things to do. Probably.
Well, I could try talking to her.
Hey, Madeline, how's lunch?
Satisfactory, Monsieur Knight. Will you be dining, or are the prices here, kinda steep?
Oh, if I get hungry, I'll eat. Don't worry about it.
I will try not to, fret.
Huh. I haven't seen that guy before. Hi, I don't think we've met. I'm Gabriel Knight.
Knight, eh? Wilkes is the name. John Wilkes.
Australian?
That's right. And you're a Yank.
If you mean American, yeah. But there are certain branches of my family tree that'd shoot you for that one. Are you with the tour?
Yeah, I'm with the tour. Look, I'm all for being friendly like, but my lunch is getting cold.
Oh, sure. We'll talk later.
Yeah, cause I guess, Gabriel Knight is Southern, right? He's from Louisiana. So, yeah, I guess that they could take offense to being called Yanks. Possibly. Depending on how, sort of... Although, to be honest, his grandfather arrived in the States in the 1920s. So it was, long past the Civil War era. I'm not sure whether... And to be honest, it was only 2 generations. I'm not sure if they would have developed like a Southern identity. So probably I'm overthinking this. As I do almost everything, to be honest. It's kind of my jam.
Real propane cooking. Not right now, thanks. I make it a rule never to look at French food. It sometimes looks back.
Okay, let's go upstairs and try talking to Mosley. His room number is 33.
There you are, ladies. I greatly appreciate your understanding.
I'm sure you'll be able to repay us somehow, Mr. Baza, when the time comes. Move along now, Estelle. I really must rest.
Thank you, Mr. Bowser.
Oh, thank you, Miss Styles.
Okay, so they changed the rooms. It's probably somehow significant for later, I assume. 23... Mosley's room is 33.
Mosley said his room number was 33, so I guess this one's his. God, how long can it take to dry those 3 or 4 strands of hair? God, how long can it take to dry those 3 or 4 strands of hair?
Okay, it's clear that I have to accomplish something in here, because the game sort of brought me back to this place when time has progressed.
Nope, those don't work together.
I guess I'll try knocking on other people's doors.
Should I see if I'm in?
Oh, that's my own door, I guess. There's no point in doing that. Although I will check if something has changed in my room. I don't think so. It shouldn't, right? But oh, but I can wait. Mosley's room is right next to mine, right? So I can literally crawl into his room via this strange device, which I'm not entirely sure what's the practical purpose of having.
That wouldn't do much good. The door's locked.
Of having this kind of tunnel that goes between the rooms. Like, why does it even exist?
Yeah, that sounds like fun. I can't reach it too well from here.
Well, I guess he wouldn't do it anyway.
That door must lead to the adjoining room. A pulley? When was this thing built? The Dark Ages?
So wait, so this is a dumbwaiter then? If it has a pulley system, it is a dumbwaiter for all of the rooms, I guess. Well, not all of them. You have to have separate for this set of rooms that's in this vertical slice of the building.
That platform looks sturdy. That door must lead to the adjoining room. I guess the lock prevents anyone from coming in that way.
Okay, there is clearly something to accomplish at the hotel, so I will try knocking at other people's doors.
I could ask him why he changed rooms, but I'm not sure I'd get a straight answer. Baza's in that room now. He switched with the girls from England. For some reason. I'm not sure what I'd say if she came to the door. This was Emilio's room. Now those two British women have it. I'm not sure what I'd say if they came to the door. It's locked. Good thing I don't need any toilet paper. I'm not sure what I'd say if he came to the door. The register shows an Italian named Buccelli in this room. It's Wilkes's room. I'm not sure what I'd say if he came to the door.
Oh wait, so the dumbwaiter doesn't even go to Mosley's room. It goes to this one, which is whose exactly?
Baza's in that room now. He switched with the girls from England. For some reason.
Okay.
Room numbers. That's handy. God, how long can it take to dry those 3 or 4 strands of hair?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm also not sure what exactly the game wants me to do now.
Nope, those don't work together.
Do I have anything else that would work? On the door? That's my own key, so that's unlikely to help.
Mosley said his room number was 33, so I guess this one's his.
I guess I can go around and explore the rest of the town, but why was I called back here? Like, I witnessed the scene of them changing rooms, which I assume is somehow significant, because I also think I got points for seeing that. But apart from that, I'm not entirely sure how me being back here is even relevant. So I went this way last time. Let's go here.
Ooh, that yellow tile certainly makes its presence felt.
Okay, that's a church, right?
That must be the church.
Indeed. Hic domus Dei est et porta celi. So, here is the house of God and the doorway to heavens. Domus mea, domus orationis vocabitur. So, my home is a home of prayer and something. I don't entirely get that part. I studied Latin in school, but only very briefly. And obviously Latin is a dead language, so it's pretty difficult to sort of keep up with the usage of it. And we mostly, read bits and pieces of like classic Roman literature, as well as some of the actual Roman jurisprudence literature having to do with the Roman practice of law, because actually it's still highly relevant. Like it's difficult to overstate how important the Roman law is for forming the basis of most of continental European legal systems. Like there are still principles, like general principles of law that are directly applicable back from ancient Roman times today. That's why we learned those maxims, because they are still relevant. So it's a fun way for entry-level law students to learn some history and also learn about some legal principles. For example, one of the ones I remember sort of off the top of my head that is still relevant is "E incumbit probatio qui dicit non qui negat," which means the burden of proof falls onto the one who claims, not onto the one who denies, which is still an actual legal rule that is used in legal process, which basically means that you don't have to have a proof of absence. If someone claims you did something and you deny that, they have to prove that you did. They have to provide positive proof that you did something, rather than you having to provide proof that you didn't. So that is one of the things in which ancient Roman maxims about law are still directly applicable to today's law. Let's get inside.
Chi è colpevole di questo sacrilegio?
May I be of service, monsieur?
Par ce signe tu le vaincras? Could you tell me what is meant by this?
It means, by this sign shall you conquer it.
It? What is it? The proper phrase is par ce signe tu vaincras. By this sign shall you conquer, meaning naturally the sign of the cross.
I am aware that there's been a slight modification, yes.
To what end? What is the it to which the words refer?
Monsieur, the Abbé Saunière designed this statue. What he meant by this, or by any of the decorations in the church, we can only surmise.
I see. If that is your answer, then you cannot be of service to me. Good day.
Monsieur?
So that refers to the supposed dream that Constantine, the Roman emperor, had before he made Christianity illegal, right? In the Roman Empire. But by this sign you shall conquer.
And I thought that only American tourists were that rude. Hi, are you with the tour?
Si, signore. And who are you?
My name's Knight. My friend Mosley is on your tour.
Ah, I am Buchelli. Vittorio Buchelli.
Nice to meet you. How'd you like the tour so far?
I am enjoying it. Yes, thank you.
Did you get in late last night, Signor Buchelli?
Signore. Yes, it was quite late.
Did you drive, or...?
I took a train.
Oh, yeah? I came in last night by train. What train were you on?
From Naples.
So, what do you think of the church?
It isn't a church. They should make that clear.
It's not a church?
No, this parish was closed years ago. The building is a tourist attraction, nothing more.
Did you, did you come to look for the treasure?
Treasure? Signori, please.
Oh, you don't think there is a treasure?
I would be very surprised.
Then how come you took the tour?
Well, the history of the area and the fable of the treasure, these interest one, no?
No, not really.
Then why are you here?
Oh, yeah, the history, sure. Do you know anything about the Holy Grail being around here?
The Grail is a story, nothing more.
I don't have anything else to say to him. Buccelli says it means, by this sign you shall conquer it. Wonder how he knows.
Oh, there's an actual, devil at the bottom of this.
Nothing like a little satanic imagery to make a church feel cozy.
That's definitely, maybe the it refers to Satan. That's definitely weird. What is it doing here? It was said that Saunier has refurbished the church in sort of weird and unorthodox ways. So maybe that's one of them.
What are they looking for? The last virgin in France?
Trace? Trace what? Erase. Okay, so this might be used for some kind of a puzzle later on. But I don't have any idea of what it could be about now. So those are the stations of the Way of the Cross, Jesus' crucifixion. So if I am to inspect those, I will do that in order. I think that makes the most sense.
That's a confessional, but it looks like it hasn't been used since Vatican II.
Shouldn't you say Vatican II? Or the full, because it's the Second Vatican Council. It's not two, it's the second. Can you say Vatican II? I'm not quite sure. Which actually, the Second Vatican Council is somewhat of a buzzword that comes around much more often in Poland than I assume it does in the West, because the Second Vatican Council introduced a lot of modern ideas to how Mass is supposed to be run, and all that, and to the structures of the church. And there are people here, among the clergy and among regular Catholics, that consider what the Second Vatican Council has done to be wrong, and they are opposing it. They wish to reverse whatever it has done. I don't particularly care or even know the specifics because I'm not religious, but I'm just throwing it out there that the Second Vatican Council is actually something that is talked about by some people here, I assume much more than in the States or whatever. Which, obviously in the States, most people are actually Protestant in the first place, so they wouldn't have cared about any Catholic Church councils. So,
I don't think they're still taking customers. It's Jesus and John the Baptist. They look dusty. It's a leaf and vine pattern. Saint Germain. Never heard of her. Maybe she's the saint of relativity. Get it? Germain. Relative. Oh, never mind. Stained glass. It's a bit too Victorian for my taste, but Gracie loves the stuff. They're called pews, you sit in them. Saint Roach. Nice legs. Maybe he's the patron saint of Gillette. Never mind.
Yeah, to be honest, that is a very, very weird pose. What specifically is he like showcasing? Because it's not like the pattern of the design of his clothes make his leg revealed. He's very clearly holding part of the cloth up. So that's a bit weird.
Saint Anthony the Hermit. There's a fun-loving guy. Mary Magdalene. What a babe, huh? Stained glass. It's a bit too... It's a big pulpit kind of a thing. Mary Magdalene in some kind of a cave. A skull, a book, and a cross made from a tree with living branches. Huh. A communion cup. Jeez. The last time I took communion, I didn't even have facial hair. Not that I have much now. It's Joseph holding the infant Jesus. Madonna and child. It's kind of a Catholic thing. The Magdalene washing Jesus' feet. They just don't make women like that anymore. That must be the Abbe's office.
So it's... Oh, I don't think I inspected that, right?
There are those 4 angels again. Saint Anthony of Padua. And there's a kid coming out of a book. Scary. Almost enough to make you never pick up a book again.
So it is, by my account, very weird to have Mary Magdalene on the altar. Like, she isn't even that important of a character in the grand scheme of Christianity. So it's almost borderline potentially sacrilegious to place her in like the top, one of the most important places in a church. So what it makes me think of is Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code, and specifically I don't think he thought of that. I think this idea was around before as a sort of legend and fable, because this game mentioned the Holy Grail, right? And in the Da Vinci Code, the sort of the twist on that legend was that the Grail was actually, it didn't hold the literal blood of Christ, but instead the figurative blood of Christ in the form of his descendants from his relationship with Mary Magdalene. So I wonder if that's somehow relevant to the story of this game, because it very clearly seems to point to her as an important character, and Saunier was into occult and weird shenanigans. And again, I have to point out, because I think it's relevant, that the museum itself noted that the way he refurbished this church was noted to be weird and unorthodox. So I think that very much fits into that.
Fuel for the flock. Trinkets for the Trinity. They got brochures, but they're in French. I don't read French. He looks like a math teacher I had once, which explains why I never liked math. Hey, how are you? The name's Knight.
Good afternoon, Mr. Knight.
Are you the priest here, or...
People call me the Abbé, yes. The name's Arnaud. Abbé Arnaud.
This is quite a place. I haven't seen many churches this, colorful.
I assure you, it is unique. Saint Mary Magdalene's is quite ancient, but Abbé Saunière restored it in the 1890s. It is his spirit you see around you.
Ah, nice.
So it's even named for Mary Magdalene. That has to be relevant.
You don't see churches dedicated to Mary Magdalene very often.
Right?
But the Magdalene cult was quite strong in the old days, particularly in this part of the world.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
The Magdalene journeyed to the south of France after the death of Jesus. She lived here for many years. In fact, you can visit her remains at a church near Marseille.
Ah, I had no idea. What do you mean by the Magdalene cult?
A cult of devotion. It's still quite strong in this area, despite the best efforts of the Catholic Church. Did you know that most of the famous Black Madonna images were not images of the Virgin Mary at all, but of the Magdalene? The Church wanted to downplay the role of Mary Magdalene, so they called her a prostitute and insisted that all the Black Madonnas were really the Virgin Mary.
But the Black Madonnas usually show a mother and child, don't they? If the woman's Mary Magdalene, who's the child?
Excellent question, Mr. Knight.
Yes, okay, so this is very heavily leaning into that idea. Jesus having a relationship with Mary Magdalene and then possibly having children together.
Do you think that there's a treasure around here?
Of course there's a treasure, but it will not be found by just anyone. Let those who have ears hear.
Right. Do you know much about the Templars?
I know the basic history. There are a few Templars buried in the cemetery, But, yes. I think I'll refer you to a young scholar staying in the house near the Château de Blanchefort. His name is Larry Chester. He says he's working on a Templar book.
Okay, thanks.
And let me know if he's helpful at all, will you?
Sure. The Holy Grail has been linked to this area, is that right?
The connection is nearly as old as the Grail legend itself. What have you read on the subject?
Not much. Arthurian legends aren't really my thing. But it's supposed to be a cup that contained the blood of Christ, isn't it?
A vessel that contains the blood of Christ, yes.
Yeah, so again, this is very clearly the same kind of idea, because he made a distinction. He said it's not a cup, it's a vessel, and that vessel can be a person that contains, quote-unquote, blood of Christ in a figurative sense, because he's a descendant of Christ.
Do you think the Holy Grail is behind the treasure of Rennes-le-Chateau?
It is possible.
Do you know of anyone in this area that has a particular interest in the Grail?
Besides myself? No one that I can think of. Of course, the treasure seekers who visit the valley are often interested in the Grail.
I don't want to wear out my welcome.
I might actually make an offering to the church, because that might make him sort of more helpful.
I have a policy with religious institutions. They don't bother me, and I don't bother them.
Fair enough. I respect that, actually, as an opinion. I'm not religious myself, and let's leave it at that for now. Although, to be honest, given the subject matter this game is leaning into, I will probably rant about religion at some point. So, you have been warned.
I remember these Stations of the Cross from my catechism classes. This one shows Jesus with Pilate. Jesus carrying the cross. Jesus falls for the first time. They didn't wear much in those days, did they? Jesus and some women. Magdalene's probably one of them. Still on the way to the crucifixion. From the dark depths of my early religious training, I seem to remember something about Veronica and a veil. He falls again, or something. Father O'Brien would be ashamed at my memory. Jesus with some more women. No, don't remember who. I think this one is Jesus falling for the third time. The soldiers take Jesus' clothes and throw dice for him. I remember that one. These really remind me of Gran. I should give her a call as soon as we get back to Rittersburg. He's being crucified. I never did like these things, even way back when. Creeps me out. Then again, I suppose that's the point. He's removed from the cross. Jesus is taken to the tomb.
Okay, let's get out then. I will check out the guy who's been researching Templars. It was said that his house is near the... near the chateau, right? So, but to be honest, there are so many houses around that I'm not quite sure how am I going to find the right one. But, you know, we'll see about that.
Yep, that house has a door, all right. I have no idea who lives there, but they probably have no interest in meeting me. Well, yes, I know it's hard to believe, but, you know, they're French. That looks like a private home. That looks like a private home. That looks like a private home. A black cat. How appropriate.
Is this the part where I have to steal cat hair? That I, you know, the one puzzle that I actually know about. Let's try that. Well,
You try to share a little human kindness, and what does it get you?
I guess it either isn't or I screwed this up.
I don't want to look too hard. I might see something embarrassing in there. The cat ran through there. Pretty tight squeeze, too. That shed looks like it hasn't seen the light of day in a couple of years. Reminds me of a garage I had once. It's padlocked. That shed looks like it hasn't seen the light of day in a couple of years.
Okay, so I'll remember that the cat is here, but for now, I guess I'm done with this section of the town. Man, this game runs like ass. But you know, you don't really need high fluidity for an adventure game, so long as you denounce such pesky constructs as human comfort. Okay, so this goes back to the museum.
That looks like a private home. I don't think I'd find the baby by knocking on doors. I will keep my ears open, though.
So I guess I walked around the entire town. Although I would like to find that Larry guy who supposedly...
That looks like a private home.
Who supposedly is interested in the Templars.
That looks like a private home.
It was supposed to be somewhere near the castle, right? Well, it's more of a keep, really. Or like a tower than an actual castle. But are there any homes around here? No. Okay. Can I read my own notes?
A good writer never goes anywhere without his notepad.
No, I can't. Is the answer. Is the bookstore still closed?
That looks like a private home. I could check every house in the area. I think it's a bookstore. They're closed.
Okay. And this is the bike shop. So to be honest, I don't have a clear idea of where that Larry guy might be living. Yeah, this just loops back to the museum.
I don't think I'd find the baby by knocking on doors.
I will go back to the hotel for a second. To see if Mosley has finished drying his hair by any chance. Although, wait a second. I have an idea.
I just want you to know you're doing a great job.
Because there are buzzers for the rooms, so maybe I can sort of like signal him by buzzing him.
I don't need Mr. Muffin Butt at the moment.
Okay.
I just talked to him in the church. He was in the church a minute ago. Maybe religious debate gives him an appetite. It's those two British chicks from the museum. Hi, ladies.
Good afternoon, Mr. Knight.
Mr. Knight?
How's lunch?
It's really quite good. Don't let the staff hear you say that. A bit of complaining keeps them on their toes. Lily, you know it's true, darling.
Thanks for the advice.
Okay, so I guess we don't have anything to actually talk about, but them being here is a sign of like timeline progress, so maybe mostly is done with his hair, because they weren't here last time. I don't hear his hairdryer, so it is a good sign, probably. But this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save here. And end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.